Listen to me carefully. Right now, as you sit here, there's a part of you that's broken, a part of you that doubts, a part of you that's been beaten down by life so many times you almost stopped counting. And I know this because every human being who has ever walked this earth has felt it, that crushing weight in the chest when everything seems impossible, when the dream feels too far, when failure whispers louder than hope. But I want you to hear this with all the force in your soul. You are not finished. This is not the end. This is not where your story collapses. You might be bleeding. You might be crawling. You might be praying in silence, asking why life had to be so brutal with you. But the answer is simple. Life was never designed to be easy. It was designed to test your strength, to see if you have the courage to stand back up when the whole world tries to bury you. People quit because they believe pain is permanent. But pain is not permanent. Struggle is not permanent. What's permanent is the man or woman you become when you endure it. Every tear, every scar, every sleepless night. It's building someone inside you that's too strong to be broken. The truth is, the world doesn't care how many excuses you have. It doesn't care how unfair it was, how many times you got betrayed, how poor you started, how heavy the burden feels. The world respects only one language: resilience. The language of a human being who refuses to give up no matter the circumstances. That's the difference between those who make it and those who fade into the background. When you quit, nobody cares. Nobody will stop you. The universe won't beg you to keep going. You will simply vanish into the crowd of forgotten people who gave up too early. But when you keep fighting, when you stand tall with nothing left in your pockets but raw determination, the world begins to bend. Doors open, people notice, opportunity reveals itself, not because it suddenly became easier, but because you refuse to quit. Think about the times you almost gave up in the past. Think about the nights you wanted to walk away, but you didn't. Where would you be today if you had quit back then? You wouldn't even be here right now listening to these words. Every victory you've ever tasted came because of one decision. You didn't quit. And if you've survived everything life has already thrown at you, what makes you think you can't survive what's next? You see, greatness isn't given to the strongest, the smartest, or the richest. Greatness is given to the most relentless. The ones who take every hit and still move forward. The ones who cry, wipe their tears, and stand up again. The ones who fight battles nobody else sees and yet refuse to wave the white flag. And here's the raw truth: life will break you again. It will. You will lose people you love. You will face betrayals. You will face failures that cut so deep you'll question if it's even worth it. But when that day comes, and it will come, you'll have a choice: lie down and surrender, or rise up and declare war against the weakness inside you. I'm telling you now, never give up, because the moment you give up, you hand your future away. You throw your potential in the trash. You give permission to your pain to control the rest of your life. But the moment you stand up, the moment you scream back at the world, "I'm not done," that's when everything begins to change. Imagine this: there's a version of you 5 years from now, living the life you dream of. Strong, successful, proud, free. That version of you exists, but you will only meet them if you refuse to quit today. If you walk away now, you'll never see them. You'll never taste what they're tasting. You'll never feel that freedom, and that's the tragedy of giving up. You'll never know how close you actually were. Too many people quit when the storm hits, not realizing the sun was about to rise. They walk away at the 11th hour, not realizing the breakthrough was a breath away. Don't let that be you. Hold the line, push one more step, fight one more round, take one more breath, because sometimes that one more is the difference between victory and regret. People will doubt you, they will laugh at you, they will tell you it's impossible, and maybe they're right about themselves, but they're not right about you. You are different. You have fire inside you. You have already endured storms they would never survive. You've walked through hell and you're still standing. That makes you dangerous. That makes you unstoppable. And listen to me carefully. Your pain is your weapon. Every betrayal, every loss, every scar is ammunition. Use it. Don't hide from it. Don't run from it. Burn it as fuel. Channel it into power. That's what separates warriors from victims. Victims say, "Why me?" Warriors say, "Try me." The hardest battles are given to the strongest fighters. And if life keeps hitting you, maybe it's because life knows you're capable of carrying more than most. Maybe it's because destiny is shaping you into someone the world desperately needs. Don't betray that destiny by quitting early. When you wake up tomorrow, you'll have two choices: go back to your old ways or keep moving forward. One path leads to regret, the other to victory. Which one will you choose? You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need the world to clap for you. You need only one thing: the unshakable decision that you will not quit. No matter how hard, no matter how long, no matter how hopeless it feels. The future belongs to the relentless. The crown belongs to those who bleed for it. The throne belongs to those who keep going when everyone else collapses. And you, yes, you were built for that, built for war. Built for struggle, built for victory. So, hear me when I say this: never give up. Never, not when you're tired, not when you're broken, not when the voices in your head scream quit, not when the world turns its back on you, not when every part of your body aches for rest. That's when you fight hardest. That's when you show the universe what you're made of. One day, you'll look back at this season of your life, the pain, the battles, the tears, and you'll smile. Because it will all make sense. You'll realize that everything you went through was necessary to shape you into the unbreakable force you became, and you'll thank yourself for never giving up. So tonight, promise yourself. Swear it to yourself. Write it in your soul: I will never give up. Because your future, your family, your legacy depends on it. The world has enough quitters. Be the exception. Be the one who refuses to fold. Be the one who rises from the ashes. Be the one who never surrenders. Because in the end, the ones who win in life are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who fall 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, and stand up every single time. So stand up. Wipe your tears. Clench your fists, straighten your back, and walk into the storm with fire in your eyes. Because no matter what happens, no matter how dark it gets, no matter how heavy it feels, you will keep moving forward. Never give up. Your story isn't finished yet. The best chapters are still unwritten. The victory is still ahead, and it belongs to you if you refuse to quit. Pain is temporary, strength is permanent. That's the truth most people ignore when they're drowning in struggle. Pain feels endless when you're inside of it. It clouds your judgment, it steals your hope. It convinces you that this is the way life will always be. But in reality, pain has an expiration date. No wound lasts forever. No storm rages eternally. Your body heals, your heart recovers, your spirit learns to adapt. What stays forever is the strength you gain from surviving it. That strength doesn't expire. That strength becomes part of who you are, part of the foundation you build the rest of your life on. Think about every hard moment you've already lived through. At the time, it felt like the end. Maybe it was heartbreak. Maybe it was financial ruin. Maybe it was betrayal, loss, or failure. Whatever it was, you thought it would destroy you. But here you are, still breathing, still standing, still capable of moving forward. That proves the point. The pain didn't last, but the toughness it gave you remains etched in your character. Now you know what you can survive. Now you know that nothing can truly break you unless you allow it to. That's the gift pain leaves behind: permanent strength. People run from pain, not realizing it's the very thing shaping them into someone unstoppable. You don't build resilience from comfort. You don't build courage when everything is easy. You don't discover your potential when life is smooth. You only find out how much fire burns inside you when life throws you into the storm. And if you choose not to quit, if you choose to endure, you walk out of that storm transformed. You walk out with scars, yes, but also with a weapon, strength that no one can take away from you. The next time pain visits, remind yourself that it's temporary. No matter how heavy it feels, no matter how endless it seems, it's not forever. One day, you'll look back and see it as just another chapter, another test you passed, another furnace that forged your strength. But the strength you gained will still be there. It will be there when the next challenge comes, when the next storm rises, when life demands even more from you. And you'll be ready, because strength doesn't fade, strength is permanent, and once you carry it, you'll never be the same again. Greatness belongs to the relentless. It does not belong to the lucky, it does not belong to the privileged, and it certainly does not belong to the people who quit when the road gets hard. Life has a brutal way of filtering people. It throws tests, setbacks, and storms at everyone. The difference between the ones who rise to greatness and the ones who disappear into mediocrity is simple: relentlessness. The relentless don't stop. They don't care if it takes a year, 5 years, or 20 years. They will not leave the battlefield until they win. That mindset alone separates them from the millions who crumble at the first taste of adversity. When you look at the people you admire, the ones who built empires, the ones who changed their lives completely, what do they all have in common? It wasn't a straight road. They weren't handed perfection. They failed, they lost, they were doubted, mocked, and underestimated, but they refused to surrender. They kept moving forward when everything around them told them to quit. That refusal, that burning commitment, is what put them on the throne. Greatness doesn't care about talent if you lack perseverance. Talent without relentlessness dies in the shadows, but relentlessness without talent eventually creates talent. It forges skill through repetition and failure. Being relentless means deciding that nothing will stop you, not rejection, not failure, not heartbreak, not fatigue. It means you show up every single day, no matter what, and you push one step further. The relentless don't wait for motivation, they act regardless of how they feel. They understand that greatness is built in the moments when nobody's watching, in the hours of grind that never get applause, in the lonely nights when the world is asleep and you're still working. That's where greatness is born, and that's why it belongs to the relentless. Most people let life beat them into submission. They hit a wall, and instead of finding a way around it, they turn back. The relentless see the wall and decide to break it, climb it, or build a door through it. Nothing deters them because their focus is unshakable. They don't ask, "Will I succeed?" They ask, "How long will it take before I do?" That mindset guarantees victory, because the only way you lose is by quitting. The relentless never quit. So if you want greatness, stop hoping it will find you. Stop waiting for a perfect moment. Commit to being relentless. Commit to showing up, to pushing forward, to refusing to die with regret in your heart. Because life will give the crown only to those who demand it with everything they have. Greatness is not for the soft. It is not for the comfortable. It is not for the ones who half commit. Greatness belongs to the relentless, and if you become relentless, then greatness belongs to you. Your pain is your weapon. Most people see pain as a curse, something to run from, something to numb, something to escape. But the truth is, pain is the sharpest blade you'll ever hold if you choose to wield it. Every scar you carry, every betrayal, every sleepless night, every moment where life tore you apart, those are not weaknesses. Those are the tools life gave you to carve yourself into something indestructible. Pain is not here to break you. It is here to arm you. It is fuel. It is fire. And if you embrace it, it becomes the reason you rise while others fall. Think about it. What drives a person harder than pain? Comfort doesn't create warriors. Ease doesn't build champions. Success doesn't shape resilience. Pain does. Pain makes you hungry. Pain gives you a reason to keep moving when your body is exhausted and your mind screams to quit. The strongest people you'll ever meet didn't get there by luck. They got there because life crushed them, and instead of collapsing, they picked up the pieces of their suffering and turned it into energy. They fought back, not in spite of pain, but because of it. Your pain is proof that you've been tested. It's proof that you've survived battles others would never endure, and the beauty of pain is that it never lies. When you're in pain, you see who you really are. You see what you're made of. You see if you're a victim or a fighter. Victims let pain chain them. Fighters turn pain into armor. Fighters sharpen pain into a sword and strike back at life harder than before. Do not despise your pain. Do not curse it. Respect it. Let it shape you. Let it remind you that you're alive, that you're still here, that nothing has defeated you yet. Every time you feel that sting in your chest, that burn in your muscles, that weight in your heart, let it whisper to you, this is power, channel it, push with it, use it as proof that you can survive anything. Because here's the truth, your pain will either destroy you or define you. It will either be the reason you quit or the reason you become unstoppable. That choice is yours. You can hide from it, medicate it, run from it, and watch it eat you alive. Or you can face it head on, grab it by the throat and say, "You will not control me. I will control you." That moment of ownership, that moment of claiming your pain as fuel, is the moment you become untouchable. So the next time life breaks you, the next time you feel like everything's falling apart, don't drown in sorrow, smile, because life just handed you more ammunition. It just gave you more fire for the battle. And if you keep fighting with that fire, you will rise higher than anyone who's never felt pain. Your pain is your weapon. Hold it, master it, and with it, you will conquer everything in your path. The breakthrough is closer than you think. The problem is, most people quit right before they touch it. They push, they sweat, they fight, and when the struggle feels unbearable, they walk away, blind to the fact that they were inches from victory. Life has a cruel way of disguising breakthroughs behind pain, fatigue, and doubt. It will push you to the edge just to see if you're worthy of crossing over. And that edge, that point where you feel like you cannot take another step, is usually the doorway to everything you've been praying for. Think about the moments you nearly quit in the past. Think about the times when your back was against the wall, when you said, "I can't keep going," but you did. You pushed anyway, and what happened? Relief came. Progress appeared, a small win showed itself. That pattern is life's way of teaching you that the reward is always right beyond the hardest part. The struggle intensifies not because you're failing, but because you're close. A runner feels the heaviest burn in the last mile, not the first. A fighter bleeds the most in the last round, not the opening one. That's how life works. Pressure builds before the breakthrough, but here's the tragedy: most people don't see it. They believe the heaviness means they're failing. They mistake exhaustion for defeat. They hear the whispers in their head telling them to stop, and they obey. And because of that, they miss the moment everything was about to change. They walk away from gold mines after years of digging, not realizing one more strike would have revealed it all. That's why success seems rare, not because it's unreachable, but because persistence is. When you're tired, when you're broken, when you're hanging by a thread, that's the moment to push even harder. That's the moment to whisper to yourself, "I've come too far to quit now." You have to remember that storms don't last forever. The sun is already rising, even if you can't see it. Every ounce of energy you put in is building towards something greater, and even though you can't feel the breakthrough yet, it's moving toward you as long as you keep moving toward it. So never trust the feeling that tells you to quit. That voice is lying to you. It's the voice of weakness trying to rob you of what's rightfully yours. Your dream is closer than you think. Your freedom, your success, your new life. It's right around the corner. All you need to do is endure a little longer. When the pain peaks, remind yourself, "This is proof I'm near the finish line." When doubt screams, remind yourself, "This is the final test." Because if you hold the line, if you stay relentless in the moment it feels hardest, the breakthrough will come crashing down like a wave. And when it does, you'll realize every tear, every sleepless night, every sacrifice was worth it. The breakthrough is closer than you think. Don't quit now. Never surrender, never quit. These are not just words. They are laws for anyone who wants to live a life of greatness. Quitting is the easiest decision you'll ever make, but it's also the most expensive. The moment you quit, you sell your future for temporary relief. You trade the life you could have built for the comfort of stopping now. And surrender is worse. It's handing your enemy, whether that enemy is life, failure, or your own weakness, the victory it never truly earned. That's why the mindset of never surrendering, never quitting, is the most powerful weapon a human can carry. The truth is, life will push you to your knees. It will test you with pain, with loss, with failure that feels like it's crushing your soul. And in those moments, surrender will look tempting. Quitting will whisper to you, "This is too much, stop now, give up and it will all go away." But that's a lie, because quitting doesn't end the pain, it multiplies it. You don't escape suffering by surrendering, you guarantee regret. And regret is the heaviest chain a person can carry. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who never struggled. They are the ones who faced every struggle and refused to fold. They stared down fear, they embraced failure, they endured nights where everything seemed hopeless, and they kept going. That's why they stand tall today, because they understood the simple truth. As long as you keep moving, as long as you refuse to surrender, you cannot be defeated. You may be delayed, you may be scarred, you may be slowed down, but you are not defeated until you choose to quit. Never surrender means standing your ground even when the odds are stacked against you. Never quit means crawling forward when you can't walk, dragging yourself when you can't crawl, and refusing to stop even when the world expects you to. It's the refusal to give your enemies the satisfaction of seeing you fall. It's the refusal to let weakness win. It's the promise to yourself that no matter how bad it gets, you will rise again. Imagine your future self looking back on today. Do you want them to say, "I gave up when it got hard"? Or do you want them to say, "I fought with everything I had and I became unstoppable"? That choice is yours. Every decision to keep going writes your legacy. Every refusal to quit sharpens your strength. Every moment of resistance builds the unbreakable version of you. So burn this into your soul. Never surrender, never quit. Fight until your last breath. Push until your body has nothing left. Endure until the breakthrough comes. Because the only real defeat in life is giving up. Everything else, failure, pain, loss, is just part of the path. The crown, the glory, the life you dream of. It belongs to those who refuse to wave the white flag. And if you decide right now that surrender is not in your vocabulary, then nothing and no one on this earth can stop you. In the end, life is not about how many times you fell. It's about how many times you refuse to stay down. The world is filled with people who surrendered too soon, who quit when it hurt, who allowed fear and weakness to write the final chapter of their story. But that will not be you. You have already decided. You have already declared war on failure. You have already chosen to never give up. Your scars are proof that you fought. Your struggles are proof that you endured. And your persistence will be the proof that you win. Do not let anyone tell you that it's impossible, because impossible is just another word for "I quit too early." The crown belongs to those who bleed for it, the victory belongs to those who never back down, and freedom belongs to those who fight for it with everything inside them. One day, when you look back on this moment, you will be proud you didn't surrender. You will thank yourself for refusing to give up when everything seemed against you. You will realize that your pain, your tears, your fight were not wasted. They were the building blocks of your greatness. So remember this until your last breath. No matter how heavy it gets, no matter how loud the doubts become, no matter how brutal the storm is, stand tall, fight back, keep moving, because as long as you breathe, you still have a chance to win. Never give up, never surrender, never quit. Your destiny belongs to the relentless, and your story is only just beginning.